Just like that, y'all, we are back on another Thursday. Thirsty Thursday, Throat Punch Thursday, Throw It Down Thursday, whatever you want to call it Thursday. But I live in Florida, and it's Get Funky Day today. Yeah, y'all know Get Funky Day. First things first, let's get right to the nitty-gritty. Let's talk about the chat that is popping right now because y'all are here for a special announcement. Well, if you think I'm giving it to you right this very second, you're highly mistaken. I got somebody down in the green screen room right now who is just itching to get up here on this screen with y'all. But he's going to stay down there. I can see him scratching his beard. I wonder if he's got fleas. He don't got fleas. He's just got nerves, and they are going all over the place with this announcement we got coming for y'all. But let's get to that chat and say what's going on to everybody tonight. I see Cruising on the High Seas was here first. Scott McNeil, you got to step it up, bro. This is the second week you are in second place. What's up with that? Scott McNeil coming in. Bruce with Ocean to Ocean Travel. Bruce and Cindy, I hope you're having a fantastic night. Terry and Jean in the house. Chuck Spencer, who's crying about having to go to sleep because he's got work in the morning. Robin in the house. Megan C's. Julie Thomas. Felicia. And oh my God, is that Sherry? I see Sherry in the bottom of the chat. What is going on, everybody? I hope you are all having a fantastic night. Now, we do have some very important news, and I know it's late. It's 10 o'clock on the East Coast, and y'all that are on the West Coast and Central, y'all got more time. Scott's got more time. I'm jealous. It is what it is. But there's some major news coming. But I want to break y'all with a little bit of news first. There will be no live stream next Thursday night. I know, breaking your hearts. I'm breaking your hearts. There will be no live stream next Thursday night, but there's a good reason why. And the reason is because I don't want to go live 3 times in 1 week. But I'll be live twice next week. So don't worry about that. But I'm going to bring on my guest, and we're going to chit-chat for a few minutes. And then we'll see how everything else goes. So let me add my guest to the stage. Y'all, without further ado, let me welcome the one, the only, my sister from another mister, Josh from Moonlight Adventures. What is going on, brother?
What's going on, y'all? Hope everything's going well. Hope you're being naughty as always. And
let me drop this overlay off of there. There we go.
How does it feel to be wearing the losing team's hat?
I don't know. You tell me. I mean, that's what's going to happen come Saturday. That's what's going to happen come Saturday. Y'all, we got 24 people up in here split between 2 live streams over YouTube and Facebook. So y'all make sure y'all smash that like button on whatever platform you're watching this on, because we got some good news. And Kurt is saying he's trying to stay awake. So should we hit them with like the throat punch news right away, or what?
He's like, I'm trying to stay awake, y'all.
I had a birthday.
Video. I had a birthday. Happy birthday, Kurt, by the way. Happy birthday.
Yeah, Kurt, happy birthday. He lived it up, man. I was talking to him on the phone for a little bit today. We had a good conversation. And then I sent him a video, and he was like, that's funny. It's going to be great. And he's keeping a little secret for me for the booze cruise. So if y'all are going on the booze cruise, there's going to be a little secret happening on the booze cruise. So y'all just stick around for that. But I wanted to bring Josh on tonight because there's a lot of good information that me and him have been talking about over on the Peer-to-Peer Travel Chats podcast. So if you haven't subscribed to that yet, you need to weeble, wobble, or run, sprint, swim, whatever your favorite form of mode of transportation is with your feet, on over to Spotify and make sure you subscribe to that. I'm getting a lot of comments in my chat over here that say, make them wait, make them sweat it out. Don't tell them yet. So we got 30 people in here, man. Like this is pretty epic to have 30 people in at 10 o'clock at night. I know it's late. I know people got work. It's tough. I just got done work and got home about 9 o'clock. So I know the feeling. But I like this late night spot. It's naughty hour. You can get a little naughty at naughty hour. But I love that shirt, bro. I didn't even realize that when I was talking to you earlier. That is like Abbey Road dark side style. That is.
I love to mix it up, man. I like for people to think about it and see what's going on there. See who represents each of the Beatles in this picture. I mean, it's
Yeah, that's pretty epic, man. That's a shirt that I'm definitely gonna have to look at getting, because the Beatles are my favorite and Star Wars is one of my favorite movies.
The one thing I don't like about this shirt is that one of the stormtroopers should not be wearing boots.
They're all wearing boots?
Well, I mean, one should be barefoot, right?
Yeah. I mean, Paul McCartney was barefoot when he walked across Abbey Road, right?
Exactly.
So one should at least be barefoot.
I like it.
So last night we had a great podcast. We had Travel Adventures with Eric B on there. I think that went very, very well. A little jealous, not going to lie. Definitely jealous of some of the places that he's been. I don't know about you, man, but Lithuania for one of them, that's definitely a place on my right. So today I was talking to Chuck, and we got a cruise coming up in April. We're going over to Barcelona and bringing the glory back on the transatlantic. So I was talking to him about like an Airbnb instead of a hotel. Like, why get a hotel if we can get an Airbnb and we can like really live it up, apartment style life over there in Barcelona. So I'm definitely going to be looking into that, man. I'm really excited. Like I want to tell the news, but I want to wait a couple minutes. Like I really don't think
keep them there, man. Keep them there.
I really don't think we should spill the beans this early. So let's talk about one big piece of cruise news that came out today. Did you see that Royal Caribbean announced the next ship in the Icon class?
You talking about Utopia? Or you
No,
talking
the
about
Star of the Seas.
No,
was
I did not
revealed
see
today.
that. I did not.
So the first ship in the Icon class is obviously the Icon of the Seas, right? That's coming out in January of next year. But they
Utopia is
announced
not
today,
an Icon class, right?
No, Utopia
its
is
own.
another Oasis class.
Yeah.
So that's another Oasis class ship. But they announced today that the next ship in the Icon series is going to be the Star of the Seas. That's the name of the ship. And it's coming in 2025. It'll debut in the summer of 2025. So Royal Caribbean is pumping out ships left and right. We're talking 2 ships in 2024 and one already scheduled to come in 2025.
So that makes sense.
Icon.
That makes sense because I was all right. So now I'm going to go TA for just a minute. I apologize, but looking through some of the different sailings that you can take now, Icon, the price seems to start dropping off for Icon around 25. I guess that's because now they have an additional ship in fleet, right?
Yep.
And they're opening up to like 7-8 day cruises on the Icon.
Yeah. So you're going to start seeing price drops, within the year for Icon in 2025. But PSV Odyssey in the house. What's going on? Cameron Hawkins. There are so many amazing people in the chat tonight. I appreciate y'all. Shane is in the house. Listen, man, there's so much great cruise news going on in the world. And we know, like, within the cruising community that there is, like, the top cruise news contender, right? Like, when you think cruise news and you think YouTube, who's the person that comes to your mind? I mean, we all think Don from Don's Family Vacations, right? Like, Don's the big cruise news guy. He's one of them, right? So I think, we let it sweat for 10 minutes. And I know you got work.
Well, hang on, man. Hang on. So, I mean, just a little more. Let's just. So here's we'll give them half the big news. All right. So half of the big news is for the first time in peer-to-peer travel chats history, we're going to do 3 podcasts in a month.
Yeah, and that's. And not only is it 3 podcasts in a month, it's like 3 podcasts within like 10 days.
Of some heavy hitters, bro. Heavy hitters.
Big league, like Kyle Schwarber home run hitters.
No.
I'm telling you.
We're talking about like Ronald Acuna Jr.
Who gets thrown out by JT
the JT Real Muto.
Who throws him out at second base. So there's 3 epic podcasts the month of October. And I didn't think October was going to be that big for us with the podcast because like we both have a busy month this month in October, right? Like we're both getting ready to go on a cruise. We both have work. We both have a lot of things to do at home before we go. So I didn't think October was going to be built with heavy hitters the way it is, but I think it's great that we build October with heavy hitters. Now, mind you, I do feel bad for whoever's going to come on in November. There's going to be some big shoes that have to be filled to come November.
Big shoes.
But it's great. And like Meg said, the podcast is great. I think it's going well. I think it's absolutely going amazing. I think it's above what we thought it would be at this point. I don't think it would have been as great.
I was telling Chastity today, I said, it's amazing. Like everyone. So, it didn't even start rough, but like, it was a little bit of a slow roll, I guess. But like we get to the end now and I'm like, holy crap,
was great.
I mean, when we went 2 hours with Lovey, we could have went 3. We
Yeah.
could have went 2 hours easily with Eric last night.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just been crazy. But so all right, there's an assumption here that this third podcast we're talking about is the big news. It might not be. I mean, it could be a sailing, it could be a trip.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a last minute
mean-
trip. I mean, the bright line did just start running in Florida. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a big, crazy collaboration going on with the bright line to go to Miami. I mean, Virgin Voyages does have some nice 5-day sailings out of the port of Miami.
Yeah. Hey, hey, Virgin now. I mean, you heard our live the other night when we only went 30 minutes. Told you we're really interested in sailing with them. And maybe. I mean, I would like to see the Naughty Man in one of those hammocks.
Yeah, man. Listen, you might want to see me in one of those hammocks, but you're not going to want to like to see all of me in one of those hammocks, man. I start popping out of the holes. All you got to do is go ask John Klaykowski. He gave me one of those infamous, famous rooster boosters over there in Costa Maya back in January. It's the only time you'll ever see two grown men well within their own sexual confidence swinging on a hammock together, crotch to crotch.
Hey,
Let me just tell you that.
does it look like, have you seen those things that like the kids play with them? They're like in a fishnet hose or something like that. You squeeze them. And
Oh yeah, and then the balls pop out. So
I can identify with that.
The hammocks in Costa Maya didn't have that; they were pretty solid. But this was I was literally on the hammock, and Clayco comes up recording with his camera, and he's like, "You ever had a rooster booster?" And he was like, "I'll give you one." And he just jumped up, bro, and slammed crotch to crotch on a hammock, and we just sat there and swung back and forth for 5 minutes, staring at each other's eyes.
Docking, right? Don't the kids call that docking?
It was a glorious moment. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was probably one of the most intimate moments I've ever shared with a man in my life. And I shouldn't be talking about this on the show, but it is what it is. I got pictures, I got videos. I'll have to put them out there one day. John was supposed to make a little short and put it on YouTube, but I don't think he's gotten around to doing it yet. So maybe I'll get that done and put out there. But
I mean, if you I get it, man. I mean, if you haven't seen the short of Aaron and I from Traveler Bus
riding around on a Vespa.
I get it, man. I get it.
I've seen it. You got those moments, man.
I can't remember if it was a Monday or not, but it may have been Man Love Monday. Maybe it was.
Whatever day it was a good day. Y'all interlocked hands. Y'all rode around on a Vespa. Y'all did things that only happen in love stories and romantic movies.
That's right.
But
that's right.
Listen, I can't wait to see half these pictures that me and you decide to take on this booze cruise, because I know Carnival's going to be like, yeah, we're not going to be selling these pictures after this because it's definitely going to be epic.
The people are chomping at the bit, man. We've waited 15 minutes.
They are.
So, I mean, so, are we ready to announce this thing, or what do you think?
Let's see. What's the like count? Where are we at on likes? One of the moderators told me
that's a good point, man. If we can't get the likes up there, so
I see 37 people. So we should have at least 30 likes out of 37 people. And if we got those 30 likes out of 37 people, listen, I'll definitely drop the bombs real quick. So Chuck Spencer saying 11 likes. There's no way. 12 likes. There's no way I'm releasing news like this big news with 12 likes. Listen, I don't beg for likes. I'm not a like beggar, but this is an epic bit of news that's coming next week. And I know there's a lot of people that got some serious questions and are going to want some answers. And y'all can be in my inbox with the questions that I'm going to ask and all of that and find out the answers to, or you can be in Josh's inbox asking the questions. But it's going to be epic. So you got 13 here. Danny D is saying 16. Meg is saying 15 on Moonlight. So we're at 30 likes combined, right? We got 39 people. We're at 30 likes combined. I'm all right with that. Chuck says 14 watching on me, 14 likes. So we're at that 50-50. 18 on Moonlight now. Let's do it. So listen, this week we had a peer-to-peer podcast with the one and only Traveling Adventures of Eric B. On Monday, Columbus Day, we have another podcast with the Travel Sergeant. But then we are coming back Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the one and only who you do not want to know. one and only Mr. Jazz Hands himself, cruising Tony B from Lolly to Loca will be joining us next Wednesday on Peer-to-Peer Travel Chats podcast, baby, over here on YouTube, 8 o'clock next week. So y'all don't want to miss that live stream. I'm telling you, if you have questions, please ask them. I know we don't usually go to the chat, Josh. That's one thing we usually don't do, but I think it's okay. I think it's okay for this one, right? That we allow some questions to flow through the chat, right? Especially with having Tony on there. I think
the dogs are excited about Tony B.
I think that's a yes. The dogs are even barking.
The
I
dogs
think the
are excited.
dogs
Hey,
are
man.
even
So,
excited.
yeah, I agree. So let's talk ground rules, right? Let's just talk about it a little bit since we're on here and we won't take the time away from the podcast. Definitely everybody's going to have their questions, but maybe what we do is 30 minutes is our normal format. And, we ask our moderators, maybe we have a moderator invited into StreamYard, a couple of them maybe, to star some of the comments for us.
Yeah.
That way we can get to them. But I would like him to just free verse for a little bit.
Oh, and, absolutely. I want the preacher man himself to preach. That's the big thing, right? Yeah. But I know
I want to know what he's really like. We see him, and I think he's. I'm not going to say I think he's authentic. He's authentic.
100%.
But how often does he get to talk about what football team he likes? What's his favorite flavor of Kool-Aid? And those things are interesting to people as well. But I do know that people want to talk, and we'll go as long as he's willing to go. But the man does have, he may have some time limitations, and he's been nice enough to share and collaborate with us who are, we're way down here, like on the YouTube pecking order.
Yeah.
And we're aware of that. So, yeah. And what he's doing for us,
and that's the great thing with Tony, because with Tony, it's Tony for YouTube is a analytic numbers guy, right? But when it comes to friendship, there's no numbers there.
Yeah.
That's not there. So I reached out to Tony. I asked him, like, hey man, look, we got this podcast going on. I would love to have you on there as a guest whenever it's convenient for you. Like, I left it 100% open across the board. Whatever was convenient for you, when you can make it happen. He gave me a day. He agreed to a time. Boom, we got it set up. And it's great because Tony is one of the most genuine people you could possibly have a conversation with, whether it's through YouTube, in person, on a cruise, whatever it may be. He is absolutely one of the most genuine people. Him and Jenny both are the most down-to-earth people. So next Wednesday, 8 o'clock, peer-to-peer travel chats with Tony B from Lolly to Loca. Y'all already know Josh, the Moonlight Adventures, and y'all know me, the Naughty Cruiser. So all three of us will be sitting there talking shop, having a good conversation, living it up, and just, that's it, getting to know,
I just don't know
about the creators.
We talked about wardrobe earlier, and like, I don't know, man. Bow tie cummerbund.
So here's the big
suit.
thing, right? So here's a big thing. A lot of people have questioned me recently about, like, when you go live, you wear the same shirt. It's not that I wear the same shirt. I have multiple of this shirt. And Tony did a live like a long time ago talking about how, like, Steve Jobs and all that wore the same pants, the same shirt, the same shoes every single day because he didn't have to think about what he was wearing. It was automatic. So my thing is now it's like, okay, I wear shorts, socks, underwear, tank top, t-shirt every day. It's the same thing. It's automatic.
We appreciate that you wear underwear. Thank you.
Listen, boy, I got to, because if not,
the chafing's real on a big man.
That's it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and it's the same thing. It's repetitive. You don't have to think about it. You do the same thing over and over and over and over and over. It just becomes a form of habit. So I took that little bit seriously because it's like, okay, well, you're right. You don't have to do anything. You just get up and you put the same thing on every day, and it's out the door and it's hit the ground running. And and it's consistency. So it's a big thing with consistency, man. And that's one thing I've had to learn how to do better since starting my YouTube channel is remaining consistent. So,
Yeah,
it
I
is
mean,
what
you
it is.
learn, and you're hitting on something about, like, I mean, I love my shirt. My shirt's cool, but and my Braves, but what really matters, right? Nobody cares what you got on, you
That's
know.
it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter that much,
That's it. It don't
It's
make a
kind of
difference.
Elon Musk kind of has the same, he's like, look, I've done the math. 4 hours is what my body needs. Anything more than 4 hours of sleep, I'm just wasting time.
It's a waste.
Yeah.
It's a waste. And you know who said it best? Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey said it best a while ago. He was talking about people in California. And he was like, I am up every day at 3:30 in the morning because rich people don't sleep 8 hours a day.
No.
The stock market's already open in New York and you're still
Yep.
over here sleeping.
Yep.
So rich people don't sleep 8 hours a day. So man, it's crazy, bro, to think like certain things like that. I wish I hit the lottery last night because I'd have took care of all my people, but the numbers just
I
weren't
mean,
there.
it's just like, and a lot of that comes, and Paul will appreciate this because Paul likes all the old farming and cowboy type stuff. But make hay while the sun's up. Like,
That's it.
go get it. And you I need to practice some of my own preaching, but I used to try and get up in the morning, do a little meditation, do a little bit of reading, work on some videos before the workday. I've slipped on that a little bit since I've been teleworking, but it's very true. I mean, you only have one life to live. You only have so many hours in that life to live. And I've heard people talk about what you do in the dash. You only get one dash. And Chastity and I were talking about this today. We were on our evening walk, and we walked past a nursing home, uh, retirement home that's on our street, and we were talking about how it kind of makes us feel sad. And then you think about people like Bruce Pobance, the hangman that's
Right.
crew, and it's like that's what I don't ever want anybody to feel sorry for us. I hope that her and I both, we meet our final demise and walk into that awesome sunset together when we're 150 years old on an adventure somewhere. It doesn't have to be a cruise ship, just something, right?
Right.
Use every bit of life you have.
That's it.
You know,
You're not promised tomorrow.
no, not at all.
So, and there's a bunch of us in here that know that very, very well.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's unexpected when certain things happen, but you're not promised tomorrow. So get out there today, live life
Nope,
to the
nope.
fullest.
Every day
And
you live on this side of the topsoil is a blessing, and you better go
that's
get
it.
it.
That's it. Get out there and grind,
Put the
man.
positive vibes out, make people feel good. It doesn't cost you a dime to make people feel good.
No, not at all.
Not a, but the return on investment is huge.
It's well worth it. 100% well worth it.
Yep, yep. Hey,
Man, it's
that's
crazy.
that's my preachiness. I don't want to take away from the naughty one's time.
No,
So,
man, you ain't taking away from nothing, man. We had some news. We announced it. It was some great news. I'm definitely looking forward to the next two podcasts. That's definitely going to be a pretty epic two podcasts. I mean, we're talking a combined total of over 400,000 following between both people that are coming on in the next two episodes. And one is 100% dedicated to cruising. So it's pretty epic that we're going to have those big faces here on the podcast. So get in while we're still growing, y'all, in the beginning before we take off to the moon like SpaceX over here in
it's only
Port
going to get
Canaveral.
bigger, man. It's only, and it's really crazy. So I would just like to point something out. Um, eh, we came back from our cruise with this realization that, like, we're taking the governor off of this thing, and we're going to be who we are. And not that we weren't authentic in the past, but we handled people with kid gloves. It's like, hey, the First Amendment's there, but, like, don't say anything that's going to make anybody mad.
Right.
And so, but you think about it, right? And I think it's an epiphany that guys like Don, I think Tony had it at some point, where it's just like, I'm going to stop So there's some very specific things that you have to do to grow on YouTube. You're never going to get seen for this, that, and the other thing if you don't make good thumbnails, don't have good titles. All those things exist. But at the end of the day, it's the content. And if the content doesn't come across as true and something that you love, something you enjoy and authentic, it's never going to work.
Right.
So, you know, there's enough YouTube for everybody. That's something that I've heard Mr. Beast say, and that's something I've heard Joe Rogan say about Spotify, right? So you take that in mind, and I know that there's a million people that think like you, Naughty, in this YouTube world. There's a million people that think like me. So we're just going to be us, and we're going to go.
But it's
And
but it's that one in that million that actually do everything to get to that next part. You know what I'm saying?
exactly,
So
yep,
like you
yep,
can think like everybody else, but what makes you different is you're actually out there grinding and doing it every single day. You're
yep,
devoting all of your time to this. And that's the great thing about it, right? Like no one's forcing you to do anything here with YouTube. You do it at your own pace, you do it how you want to do it. But what I've learned from Tony is consistency is key. That
exactly. Yep,
man faithfully drops a show every day, same time every day, good thumbnails every day. So
yep.
a lot of people ask me, like, you know, how do you do your thumbnails or things like that? I don't know if a lot of y'all know this or not, but that man lives 5 minutes from my house. He's one of the big reasons I started this channel. So I have to like put my best foot forward every single time because I feel like if not, the godfather of cruising is right around the
So
corner and going to knock on my door and be like, dude, what did I tell you? You got to have that good thumbnail. That thumbnail needs
that's
to be
right,
good.
man. It's like
So,
Blues Traveler, right? The hook brings you back. I ain't
so
telling you no lie.
but it's great, man. I'm super excited. I look forward to it. I can't wait to ask some questions. I can't wait for y'all to ask some questions. I know a
That's gonna
lot
be
more
awesome.
about him because he's a very good friend that I hold near and dear to the heart, man. And I can't
Yeah,
wait
and I
to
think we all, but
have
we
him
all
on
feel
here.
like he's our friend, like
Oh,
so.
absolutely.
But
That's the one good thing about his
yeah,
personality, man.
yeah,
Is
exactly, yeah,
great.
yeah. So,
So
hey, I'm jumping off here. You got it. I'm gonna go back and be a fan from our account, and just look at your wonderful face and your wonderful beard.
go for it, man. You told me
Yeah,
to
man,
listen.
we're
Here we go.
out. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for hopping on, brother. Well, y'all, it's that simple. Tony B, Lolly DeLoca jumping on next Wednesday, 8 o'clock. Absolutely amazing. I think it's going to be a great show, and I just can't wait for it. I know there's going to be a lot of questions that are going to be asked and all of that. But now let's move on over and change subjects. If y'all got any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. I will answer every and all questions. I'm here for the next 32 minutes. So if y'all want to stick around, y'all know where to find me. Meg says it's going to be a great show. Absolutely. Hands down. I think it's going to be amazing. And there's some other guests that are on, the radar that I've reached out to for November. So, like I said, whoever's filling them shoes, it's definitely going to be a big old pair of shoes to fill, but it's going to be worth it. It's absolutely going to be amazing. And I'm glad that it's going to be on a little bit smaller of a setting. So that way, everyone that has questions can potentially get those questions answered. And it's going to be, just one of those moments that you're glad you're doing it on YouTube, and it's going to be on YouTube and Spotify. So that way you can always go back and go, you know what? I remember that day. That was a great day, great conversation, and well worth it. So, but another thing I wanted to touch base on was Carnival opens new West Coast cruise. New West Coast cruises, including a new ship. And I wanted to touch base on the new floating platforms available on not Perfect Day, Half Moon Cay. So Carnival's making some definite changes in the very, very near future. They got new floating platforms out in the middle of the ocean at Half Moon Cay, and there is new itineraries from Long Beach with 3 different ships, including the upcoming new Frenzia out of Long Beach. So Carnival is definitely making some headway in the game. NCL made some major announcements with the over 1,000 cabins of solos, over 1,000 solo cabins, and it's absolutely going to be crazy. crazy cruise industry over the next couple months with the new ship name of the Star of the Seas with Royal Caribbean, MSC coming out with some new ships, Carnival coming out with a brand new Jubilee this December. It's absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait for all of the things to happen over the next few months. So Terry says, hello to all the Blue Crew. Hi from Terry and Gene. Terry, I hope you and Gene are having the best time of your life. Are y'all on a ship right now? I know y'all just got off of an MSC cruise. So I don't know if you're on a cruise or if you're back at home. Wherever it may be, I hope you're having a fantastic night wherever you may be. So, y'all, it's epic, right? Like, we're talking big time channels coming in on a podcast. I don't even know. Like, I've had conversations with Tony, right? Like, we've had personal conversations, face to face conversations. We've been on cruises together. I've been in his suite watching hockey games. Like, we've had good man bonding time together, but I don't know what to ask. Like, I don't know where to start, what to ask the man, because I love questions and I love answers to certain questions, but I don't want to take away from everybody else who's going to have questions or want to have questions asked. So give me some ideas. Give me some ideas on what I should. I know I'm going to ask him some tech questions because we all know I have all the latest gizmos and gadgets and all of that. And I'm pretty sure the master over there has more gizmos and gadgets than I do. Robin says, I have to say I've been missing Chiquita Bonita from the lives recently. Yeah, she's packing up. I know she's getting ready to move, so she's been a little busy getting life organized over there. So I'm pretty sure she'll be back around very, very soon in the lives. I know she's still active over there on Facebook land, so you can always check her out over there in Facebook world. But I know, like Chuck Spencer, Scott, me, we've all had that personal time, but I know there's got to be some questions. Like if you had Tony right now, like pretend I was Tony, what would you ask me? Like what would be that number one question you would want to know? We need to know about Legos and World of Warcraft. Well, I can tell you right now, Tony has an amazing Lego obsession, just like I do. All over here, y'all can't see it, but if I got up and showed you, I have the Atari set. I have so many Lego sets that are built and up over here. Legos just ain't for kids now. Let's clear the air on that one. And World of Warcraft. So we could definitely ask those questions. I know he's been fascinated recently on this game called Wingspan. And I wanted to look into it on the Switch, but I haven't looked into it yet. Got to ask him about his early life, like the stuff he doesn't talk about much. And that is a big question that I was going to ask because I remember him mentioning something about, growing up in West Virginia. And Kurt is from West Virginia. So I kind of want to figure out if they were like from the same area. So I'm definitely going to ask about the early life, talk about some things like that, and just see what he's got coming up. And, go from there. Terry says, thanks for the shout out, Mike. Till the group cruise with Tony and Jenny B. Hate we will miss the cruise with you and Scott. We'll wave as we cross in opposite directions. Oh, man. You're coming on the Boats and Bros, though, so that's a good thing. We'll see you there on the Vista. So, but there's definitely going to be some questions about early life. There's going to be some tech questions that are going to be asked. And things like that. I definitely want to, touch base on YouTube because there's a lot of creators that can gain a lot of wealth from creators like Tony. So I want to make sure I touch on those type of questions as well. And I know Josh is just itching and burning at the loins to get some questions. How come he likes Kiss so much? I sat next to Tony's mom and she told us some stories. See, you got lucky. So you got the stories from mom. Meg says, I'm joking about the nerd stuff. I would love to know more about the things that inspire his creativity. Meg, don't joke about the nerd stuff. Like, I think that's a big thing that inspires creativity, right? So I'm a super nerd for any of you that have like been to my house or came to visit. Y'all seen my Lego collections. Y'all seen my ship model collections. Y'all seen my Funko Pop collections. Like, I got so much stuff. Like, I got Star Wars lightsabers that hang up on the wall. They're not up, but I have them. They're just not on the wall. But I think the nerd stuff, like, is what actually brings creativity. Like, one of my favorite Funko Pops is a big old, uh, which one is it? My big old Stan Lee. My big old Stan Lee Funko Pop. That's one of my absolute favorites. But I think it's things like that that make us actually a little more creative, right? Because we look at things a little different than others. And Legos might seem like just something that you put together, but it triggers that creative response within your body. So definitely, I think the Legos, the Funko Pops, the ship models, and all that play a big part. Well, Josh has one of my favorite shorts I've ever seen on his channel, and it's him sitting on the living room floor with a boat going, "Grr, party, party, karaoke party." And then Chastity walks up and goes, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Nothing." And he was playing with a ship model. But that just triggered like me inside, like, yes, that is me. That is my inner child. I want to sit down and play with all my ship models. I have a pool, so why not fill up the pool and go in the pool with all my ship models? And then I can float and have my own cruise destination in the middle of my pool. It's things like that. And you know, it's simple things that make you feel good, make you laugh and all that with inside, right? So then, you know, if you're feeling good and you're laughing inside, that it's going to bring other people the same type of enjoyment and excitement. And that's the one thing, like, with me having that personal friendship with Tony, I get to see two different sides of him, which is great because I get to see the working Tony and I get to see the hangout and have a good time Tony and just throw some dice, have a few laughs at the comedy club, things like that. So I definitely want everyone to ask some questions, no matter, you know, in the chat. I'm sure we'll definitely get all the questions answered, but y'all can also check his channel out on Tuesday. He's going live Tuesday night as well. Apparently, Danny D has a huge Lego collection. Danny D, we're like best friends. Legos are my thing. I'm literally this close. I want to get the Eiffel Tower so bad. I want to build that next. The Eiffel Tower is next. I got to get that, and I got to get the Pac-Man machine. They're like the two top on my list. Titanic's up there too, but Titanic falls behind the Hogwarts train because I'm a super big Harry Potter fan. Like, Harry Potter is one of my absolute favorites, and the Hogwarts train is like, oh, it's one of the ones I want, but it's $600. So in due time, I will make sure I have my whole Hogwarts collection and all of that. Whole basement is filled with them two shells. Top just finished the ancient castle from Japan. Now I'm on the 4 out of 24, the Home Alone set. Yes, the Home Alone set I was going to get last year, but I did not. I didn't get it last year. I got the Atari instead. And the Hogwarts castle. Oh, the castle, the train. I want it all. I absolutely want it all. I can literally, you give me $100,000 and I will spend it all in the Lego store within an hour. There's no way I'm walking out with change. I'm probably going to ask you if you have any more because there's so many Lego sets that I want that I don't have at the moment, or I can't get because they're like rare and hard to find. Yeah. Lego sets for the win. Same with Funko Pops. I have a real big fascination with Funko Pops. I want to create my own. I wish I can get in touch with Funko and create a Naughty Cruiser Funko line. I think that would be pretty epic. I'd probably be the only person that bought them all. But either way, I think it would be pretty epic. Have a couple different gestures like this, little camera, little vlog setup. But I think Naughty Cruiser Funko Pops would be a hot commodity. Even if I'm the only person buying them, I think they would be a hot commodity. So that's definitely, definitely nerd out a little bit on the conversation. That's for sure. I'm covered in Disney ink, so we already know I'm a big old geek. It is what it is. Danny D says, I'm asking for the Pac-Man set for Christmas. It was between that one and the Home Alone, and pick the Home Alone. If you want the Home Alone, definitely get it soon. It was back ordered on the Lego site. Yeah, so I actually went to meet up with John Clayco. So I went to downtown Disney and they had the Atari set. So that got snatched up right away. Yeah, so they had the Barcelona soccer stadium and they had the Real Madrid soccer stadium when we were in Barcelona. I was looking at them when we were over there, but the problem would have been getting it home. So that would have been like a big issue for me is how am I going to get this giant Lego set back to the States? I already got stuck having to pay 125 euros for a Czech carry-on bag. But either way. Is that bone tired travelers in the house? Look at that. Chuck's over there in Josh's chat saying hi to everybody else. I can't see everybody unless y'all are like chatting it up over here on StreamYard, and I'm looking over here on YouTube. Double monitor life. It happens. Terry says, I'll pick Scott up so we'll have a dependable navigator. So that's awesome. Y'all going to bring Scott in for the Boats and Bros. That's awesome. I don't know if I would trust him too much because the last time he tried navigating to my house, his car was kind of left behind and I had to navigate Chuck Spencer there to pick him up. So I don't know if that would be a great thing. What's going on, Warm Strong Adventures in the house, Bill? I hope you're having a great night. Got it from Amazon. Couldn't wait for Lego store. And the stores near me had none of the Home Alone sets. Danny D, let me know next time if there's a specific set you want. We have a Lego store not too far from here that always seems to have at least one of the rare Lego sets. Chuck, working the chats. Yep, just like Marcia and Kurt work the poll, you work the chats. So, but that's it, y'all. Like that, it's going to be epic next week. So make sure y'all tuned in. Y'all are watching that live stream. It's going to be sent over to Spotify. If anybody has the link for the peer-to-peer travel chats, Josh, if you're still in here, I know your Nightbot or whatever it is, your stream bot that you got over on there drops the link. But if someone could drop the link over here on my chitty chat. What movie is that from? Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. That's where I'm getting it from. Backup will be Gene. Maybe between the two, we'll make it. Well, you let me know. I'm hoping by that time. Let's not say that because that might not happen because we're leaving out of Port Canaveral. So, no, I won't be because by then the bright line won't be in effect here for Tampa to Orlando. So, that's another big thing I want to talk about, right? Bright line. So, there's a new train rolling here in the state of Florida, and it's called the Bright Line, and it's a high-speed rail that goes from Port Canaveral, Orlando, all the way down to Miami. Now, you can do one way, you can do round trip, you can build your own pass, things like that. But this is a great piece of public transportation that's now in Florida for people that do not want to drive to Fort Lauderdale to get on a cruise or Port Miami to get on a cruise. You can literally take a train from Orlando to Miami. So let's see, right? My next cruise out of Miami, let's just say we'll go based on the cruise I'm doing out of Port Canaveral. So I want to leave on the 17th and I want to return 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the 23rd. So February 17th to February 23rd, round trip ticket cost. The cheapest cost right now is $79 per person each way, and first class for $149. The good thing about this is, again, you don't have to pay to park in Miami or Fort Lauderdale. You don't have to worry about anything like that. So if you're living within the vicinity of Orlando and you're able to take this train, I highly suggest it because I think it's beneficial, right? Like you're able to get on, ride the train. You don't have to worry about traffic. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to do none of that. You just have to get on the train, relax, and enjoy yourself. And I can't wait for them to open the section between Tampa and Orlando because then I can go from Tampa to Orlando, Orlando all the way down to Miami. and I can get on a cruise and I didn't have to drive anywhere. Now, for me, it takes me a little over 5 hours to get to Port of Miami. And then it takes like $140 to park for 7 days, plus the cost of fuel, the cost of tolls. Now, is this cost effective? At the point, probably not. Like right now, it's probably not cost effective, right? But when you factor in what you're going to spend in fuel there and back, what you're going to spend in tolls there and back, what you're going to spend on parking, I think this would be a good option. I'm to the point that I'm going to book it just to go from Orlando to Miami to create a vlog, spend the day in Miami, do some ship spotting in Miami, and then bring it on back. But I really don't want to spend $79 for business class and then $150 for first class just to make a video. I think it would be cool. I can make a train video. I can make a day in Miami video. I can make a ship spotting video. So there's so many videos that I can make out of that one day. But I think the price is a little too high. But however, I think it's a great thing that we have now here in Florida, especially if y'all want to go from Orlando to Miami or vice versa. It does stop in West Palm. It stops in Boca Raton, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and Ventura. So there is a few stops. You don't have to go to Miami if you're going to Fort Lauderdale, and you can get off in West Palm or Boca Raton if your pockets are loaded and you want to buy a house in Boca Raton. By all means, send me the address when you close on it, and I'll bring y'all a little homecoming present. Cameron, get some sleep, brother. Kurt, Marsha, get some sleep. I will see y'all tomorrow morning. And if y'all haven't already done so, that's a good channel to subscribe to. See me traveling. Kurt and Marsha, they go live every Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. with the morning coffee show. Great people, great information, and always a great live show, especially when Marsha beats Kurt with the damn it doll. It does not get no better than that. So y'all make sure y'all check out See Me Traveling. Tell them Nauti sent you. But we got 12 minutes, y'all. We got 12 minutes. Meg says, I live on a train station in Atlanta. Only way to live. Now, where I grew up in the city of Philadelphia, right? So everything was public transportation. And we were talking about this last night on the peer-to-peer podcast. I'm a big person when it comes to taking public transportation. So a bus, a train, a trolley, it don't matter to me. I'm okay with the public transportation. And I know there's a lot of people that don't like the public transportation, but I'm a big person on public transportation. You see more, you get there faster. Like, perfect example, right? So if y'all seen the Seattle vlogs, for me to get from the airport in Seattle to my hotel in Seattle before my Alaska cruise, it was like $80. It was an $80 Uber ride. Now, I'm not cheap. $80, all right. If I'm in a rush and I got to spend $80 to get there, then I'll spend the $80 to get there, right? It's not that big of a deal. But when I can take the train from Seattle airport to my hotel and get off 1 block from my hotel and it only costs me $3, where do you think I'm going to go? Now, again, if I got to pay the Uber cost, I'll pay the Uber cost. It's not that big of a deal. But it was $3 to ride the train from the airport to a block from my hotel. I did the same thing in London. For a cab from the London Heathrow Airport to my hotel where I was staying in the heart of London, 2 blocks from Buckingham Palace, 3 blocks from Buckingham Palace, it was like €120 or 120 pounds. Excuse me. I didn't mean to insult anybody with that. 120 pounds. But for me to take the train, it was less than 10 pounds. So I took the train. I have no problem with public transportation. Terry and Jean, I hope y'all have a great night. Enjoy that time with the grandbabies. I appreciate y'all. Chuck, thank you very much for dropping that link here. Yeah, y'all, if y'all haven't subscribed to the channel on Spotify, please do so. I think we're up to like 8 episodes right now. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. Let me see. So we're up to 6 episodes currently loaded on Spotify. As of Wednesday, we'll have 8 episodes. Tony B is episode number 8. So check that out. The other thing I wanted to touch base on for the last, let's do 10 minutes here, right? If y'all have been following along with the Booze Cruise or things like that, y'all know about this person named Barry the Brain. Now, Barry the Brain is a figment of your imagination as far as I'm concerned, because nobody can seem to figure out who Barry the Brain is. I thought I was on track. I thought I was right on the heels of Barry the Brain. I was wrong. I was wrong. Meg says, I know who Barry is now. How do you know who Barry is now, Meg? A lot of people are thinking it's Blaine with Riley Creative Travel, PSV Odyssey, Paul, Mr. Paul over there, who, mind you, let me give a big shout out to Paul with PSV Odyssey and Megan C's, who do an amazing job, not only moderating, but running that Facebook group page, putting out amazing information every day for all of us creators, letting y'all know when we're going live, when we have video dropping and all of that. So I do appreciate y'all very, very much. And the moderator team over here on my channel, as well as the Moonlight Adventures. I appreciate y'all for holding down the chats. Now, Meg says a lot of hints. Neither are booked on the Booze Cruise. So, is Barry the Brain booked on the Booze Cruise, Meg? Do you think? Now, I've thought for a while it was Denise over there at Bone Tired Travelers. And then we got thrown off with Denise that it wasn't her. And then I thought it was her lovely hubby, Dwayne. It wasn't him either. Then Meg brought up a good point last week that it sounded like Tyler from the Tyler Show. Now, I know it's not Tyler from the Tyler Show. I know that much. I did some analyzing of the voices. But I still can't figure out who Barry Brain is. Meg, when this is over, I'm going to send you a message. I want to tweak your ear for a minute real fast and see if I'm onto something here. But I still don't know who Barry Brain is, right? Barry the Brain, for those of you who don't know, is a little trophy from SCT Adventures. And he goes around, he travels the world. Nobody knows who Barry the Brain is. Nobody can seem to figure it out. There's a very short list of people who have figured it out. And let's just say, I know there's a bunch of people that I know that are on that list. Meg, I don't expect you to spoil it. Even if I knew who it was, I would play it off like I don't know who it was. So that way other people can still build the excitement. So we'll just leave well enough alone there. So if you are still trying to figure out who Barry the Brain is, you're not the only one. There's a lot of us in this community who are trying to figure it out. But I heard through the grapevine that once Barry the Brain reveals himself, that there might be another mysterious creature in YouTube traveling the world that is going to do the same thing. Now, this is all hearsay. I don't know if anybody's going to do anything else like this, but it's definitely great. It's bringing a lot of good conversation to the cruising community, right? So there's a lot of people who are excited and trying to figure this out. It's like a murder mystery dinner, right? Like who killed who? So who did it? Who's Barry the Brain? So it's definitely one of those things that you're going to have to stick around to the end I personally know there's going to be a big Bury the Brain reveal on the Booze Cruise at the end of this month. And Meg says, I am less confident now. So see, with what I'm saying, you're kind of thrown off, right? I won't tell you I figured it out, because it's not Tyler, Meg. It's not. I'm telling you, it's not Tyler. I took Barry the Brain's voice and the Tyler Show's voice, and I compared them on a voice machine. They are not the same voices. They're not. It's according to the voice machine, it's not. And it's blowing my mind, because it's coming up as a computer generated voice. So it's not necessarily saying like it's an AI voice. And Chuck, you're right. The voice is computer generated, but it's coming up as a mixer. And before we went live, Josh was showing me his toys, and he had a voice mixer, and he was playing with his voice mixer, and it said, I can change my voice with this button. And he kept changing his voice. And at one point of him changing his voice, I muted myself and I was like, yeah, Josh is Barry the Brain. I just heard Barry the Brain's voice when Josh was over there playing with the thing. Oh, I forgot. I'm still on. Josh is still in here. Josh's stream is still going. So he's going to see this when this live stream publishes on his channel. If you watch the replay, Josh, listen, I heard the voice as you were playing with the mixer. I'm telling you, his toys, I don't know. Leave it in the comments. Like, if you think you know who Barry the Brain is, leave it in the comments, because it's got to be somebody we know, right? Like, we all know this person one way or another, one shape or another. We know who this person is. It's just a matter of process of elimination at this point. So we start eliminating more people. We'll eventually get down to the bottom of it. Will it be before he reveals himself? I don't know. But I got an idea in my brain that it's one of two people. Josh says it's Peggy Sue Firebird. Darren knows who it is. Darren, do you know who Barry the Brain is? Or do you just have an idea of who Barry the Brain is? Because Will G says you know who Barry the Brain is. So we'll leave it at that, y'all. If y'all think y'all know who Barry the Brain is after the replay, drop in the comments who you think it is. Let's just say it's probably not who you think it is, because the person I think it is the person it is. And I am that confident that I don't know who Barry the Brain is. Let me stop. Y'all thought I was going to say that I know who Barry the Brain is. No, I don't. And it's all in good fun, right? So it's a great thing. It's bringing a lot of good thing to the community. And y'all keep just trying to crack that code. Y'all just keep trying to crack that code. It's definitely... all I can say is it's definitely somebody within the cruising community, and we all know who it is. Like, it's somebody we know. It's just a matter of cracking the code. Again, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for being here. It is that time. It's 11 o'clock. Don't forget, Monday night at 9 p.m., peer-to-peer travel chats with the Travel Sergeant. And on Wednesday night, peer-to-peer travel chats at 8 p.m., the one and only La Lita Loca, Tony B, the godfather of the cruising community himself, will be joining me and the wonderful Josh from Moonlight Adventures. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming in. I know Josh appreciate y'all for coming in and showing him that naughty hospitality. And Barry the Brain will be revealed on the Booze Cruise. So let's keep trying to crack that code until we know who Barry the Brain is. Josh says it's Tony B. I can 100% with confidence say it's not Tony B. But you never know. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all have a fantastic night, and y'all know what to do. Until next time, y'all stay naughty. A peace.